Yeah. Yeah.
Look at me.
Benchmark, they're speaking the facts that you wanna hear. That rapper jersey, the vision is clear. Diamonds glisten like a chandelier. You know what I'm here for, like Marshawn Lynch. At clutch time, we do not flinch. Real brothers, we do not switch. Hit home runs with the right pitch. Who run the city? What to do when they hating on you? I feel like Kobe 2010. I taking an L, all I need is a win. Business is business, you know how they go. You playing the seats, now it's time to grow. Tuning now, gotta be in the know. Showtime, bitch, my about to blow.
I ain't seen from now. Miles, he was really. Next my podcast. What's up, bro?
Welcome back to another episode of the Bench Mob ENT. We have been blessed tonight to have Katie Dinnebier on the show. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. Excited to be here. So thanks for having me.
Of course. So for y'all that do not know her, let's go down the list of accolades. Started all 4 years in high school, 2021 Miss Iowa basketball, 2021 Gatorade Iowa Girls Basketball Player of the Year, 2021 State Champion Iowa Class 5A, averaged 19 points, 4 assists, 3.5 steals her senior year. That's just a small part of it. We could go deeper into her whole high school career, but that's just a little bit of it right there. For you, what was that like for you in high school, starting all 4 years, having all that success? What was it like for you in high school?
Yeah, gosh, it was awesome. I just had a great support from my teammates and my coaches. A little backstory. My freshman year of high school, I played my first 2 games and I ended up tearing my ACL 2 games in. So I had a whole season where I sat out the whole AAU season. So I was kind of in the mindset of, well, crap, like I'm not going to be able to meet my full potential. So really like bringing it all together senior year and just like giving it my all and like getting all the rewards from it was just amazing.
So without not knowing that, you tear your ACL as a freshman. How was that for you that early and the mental process going through that with the therapy and trying to get back to playing basketball?
Yeah, it was definitely something that I had to overcome, especially with the AAU season, having to miss that. And that's like one of the big years. I mean, you go in your 9th grade year and I hear from all my friends, my club teammates, like, oh, I'm starting to get looks. Oh, and I hadn't even talked to a coach until my 10th grade AAU season. So that just kind of like really put a damper on my attitude. But I really think it taught me a good lesson. Like no matter what happens, it's for me, at least it's God's plan and that's what's meant to happen. So it's going to turn out the way you want it. You just have to put in the hard work and dedication.
Shout out to you though for your perseverance. I know a lot of people probably that would have, stopped them, especially your freshman year. That's a crazy way to start off your high school career. So shout out to you for your perseverance. I'm from Jersey. I've never been to Iowa. What is basketball like in Iowa? Is it the biggest sport out there, or do you have other sports that compete with it?
Yeah, I'd say in Iowa, basketball is definitely one of the biggest sports. Football too, but yeah, really basketball, especially women's basketball. And that's what's so great about this year, especially in the college Division I world. We have Iowa, who's ranked number 8, Iowa State ranked 12th. We're just right on the bubble. UNI is great in the NBC. So I think it's really good competition, and that just shows how strong our programs are here.
That's what's up. I always wondered that. So you have all the success. You guys win state championship and whatnot. What were the games like? Was it packed gyms? Like, how was that? Especially being that y'all won. So I know at some point y'all had a target on your back. So how was that senior year and going through that process of winning everything?
Yeah, we went into the season ranked number 1. So we definitely had a huge target on our back. We went, 18 games straight of winning. We lost 1 game my senior year, which really turned us around. And I think just put a target on our back, a chip on our shoulder, and it just kind of made us prepared for the state tournament. Our games were crazy. We had a ton of fans, which was awesome. Our student section really showed out. My high school, we were voted the best student section in the state. So it was really fun, a really good atmosphere. We set records at Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines, and that's like state tournament records of how many people showed up. So I think that was something that's really cool. And again, like I said, just shows like the popularity of women's basketball here.
So with that process, with that happening, you got the popularity, you got everything going on. I'm sure you had to have offers. You're one of the top girls in your state. How did you go about choosing Drake?
Yeah, so what really stood out to me about Drake was the family atmosphere, and that's one of the greatest things. I'll continue to say it. I'll say it over and over again ever since I committed, and that's something I stand by since I've been here too. Like the girls are really just like a family. They're my best friends. We do everything together. The coaches, even the coaching staff. We just had a change in our coaching staff. Our head coach Jenny Baranchek just left to go take the head coaching job at Oklahoma, so that was a change. But even still, it's just a family atmosphere, and I feel like I can tell my coaches and my teammates anything. So that was really the one thing that stood out for me. For those of you that also don't know, I'm from Des Moines, so Drake is in my hometown. So I thought it would be really cool to be able to play in front of my hometown and just kind of represent Des Moines. So that was another thing that stood out to me. I'm also super close with my family, so it's a 15-minute drive home, so I can go see them. My mom can do my laundry, which is really nice. And on top of that, Drake's a really good women's basketball program.
That's a lot of positives right there. I'm sure you see it so far early in the season. When you have that type of camaraderie, it helps on the court. So I think that's huge. I'm pretty sure and confident you guys will have success this season. And of course, I went to college too. Being that close to home is always good.
Oh yeah.
You get a good home cooked meal, and then of course washing the clothes. You don't have to worry about it getting mixed up with anybody in the dorm. That you got it really good so far. Was there any possible other school that could have came in that you would have considered going to?
Yeah, so my top three when I was closing out recruiting were Drake, Creighton, and Missouri State. So those were the three I had it narrowed down to. But like I said, Drake just really stood out to me. And it was just, ever since I stepped foot on campus, it was just always Drake.
Got it. So let's go back to the beginning. When did you have the love for basketball? When did that start?
So fun fact, I was actually a gymnast up until fourth grade, and I was only gymnastics. I would get out of school every day at 1:00 to go practice. So I was dedicated. I just kind of got burnt out of the sport. And one day my dad, he'd always go play pickup ball at the Y. And so I was always kind of like, oh, that's kind of fun. Like shooting a ball in a hoop. Yeah, that might be something I want to do. So my brother was really big into basketball too. So I started playing one-on-one with him. I finally ended up giving up gymnastics, which it just took too much of my time and I couldn't do both. And I just really fell in love with the game of basketball. So really just through my dad and my brother just playing in the front yard, that was just what really brought the love of the game to me.
Shout out to your dad. Shout out to your brother.
Exactly.
I think your coaches and your teammates definitely would say thank you to them for you playing basketball. So now you mentioned in your state, at your school, women's sports, specifically basketball, is actually valued there. People come out and view it. What do you think possibly could be done, to have that same type of support across the board? Because we don't see it with female sports in general. We don't see it with the WNBA specifically. It's not the same type of support. In your opinion, what do you think could be done to bring more awareness and support to women's sports?
I think just like, I love the courtside films. I like just like getting highlight reels out there and just showing people that like women's basketball is a really fun sport to watch. I think sometimes people just think, oh, they're females, they can't score the same as men. And yeah, we don't move the same as men do. It's not the same, but it's more team basketball in my opinion than men's basketball, which I think is so much more fun to watch. It really clicks. I think just getting the word out there that like basketball, women's basketball in specific, is just so fun to watch and it's so fun to be there. And that's another reason why I chose Drake too. We get on average like 4,000 fans at our game. Like it's so incredible to see like our hometown just come and support. The city of Des Moines loves women's basketball, and I think that's what's so special here. And I really hope that it continues to grow throughout the country.
Yeah, I think that's key to for the awareness is the highlight reels. I mean, that's how we found out about you. We saw the highlight reels, like, oh, game winner. Okay. And then like we followed purposely a couple of different the uncut WNBA. We got uncut women's basketball. We got the NCAA specifically for women's basketball. We follow all those pages just to be up to date and aware of who's going around. It's a lot of, as you know, it's a lot of colleges out there. So I think it's dope, the sites that do post it, because obviously you can type in basketball and more than likely you'll find on Instagram, Twitter, you'll find a men's highlight easy.
Yeah.
Shout out to the ones that's posting the female highlights. For you, right? What might be, something that people don't know about being a D1 athlete?
Yeah, I think one of the things that kind of wasn't a shock, but just like really how much like time consuming like basketball is, especially any sport in the D1 level. Like I really have no free time. Like, and I think that's really hit now that season's here. Like it's practice. You get maybe one off day a week, maybe if you're lucky. It's practice, it's weights, it's film, it's going to talk to your coaches, it's coming back doing homework. And just like with the school piece of it too, like I'm taking 17 credits this semester. So just being really busy with school on top of basketball, I think you really got to be dedicated to your sport to be able to play a college sport and to be able to last all 4 years. So I think just like the time consuming piece is something that's just like, wow, like it really, really is something that it's a full-time job.
Again, thank you for hopping on with us, hearing how busy that schedule is. I took my last 6 semesters of college just because I wanted to get it done, 18 credits each semester. So I can't imagine 17 credits. D1 basketball. I didn't play D1 basketball, but D1 basketball, 17 credits. Thank you for hopping on with us. We appreciate that for sure. So the season starts off, and game 1, you hit a game winner of your collegiate career. What was going through your mind? How did that feel? And then to go after the game, you see you're all over social media. They're posting the game winner. Everybody's talking about it. We reposted it. How did that feel for your first game in college?
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty good start, I guess. I just we drew up a play, last second play. Original was just, I was going to take it to the basket and just drive it in and hope to get something going. I mean, we were tied and really had nothing to lose. Might as well try and force up a shot. My defender fell on the play, step out, kick out 3, shot it. Was feeling pretty good. I didn't know if it was going to go in. I was like, oh, there's 2 seconds left. I'm just going to shoot it. I don't know. Maybe it'll go in. But just to hear the fans just go crazy and then just have that time run out, I think that was something that was just really cool and a good way to start the season, especially in a win over Creighton, one of our biggest rivals. So that was really cool. Checking my phone afterwards and seeing my phone blowing up. I don't know. It's always just reassuring, but I mean, one play doesn't decide the game, but it is kind of fun just to have everyone be so hyped around it.
What are some of your own personal goals while you're at Drake?
Yeah, I want to develop as a leader and just to be a great teammate. I think that's something that I definitely need to work on, but something that I kind of stepped in into is my high school career. My junior year of high school, we didn't have any seniors, so we really had no leadership. So being the point guard, I just kind of fell into that leadership role. And that's something that I want to carry on to Drake as we continue on the season as I continue on throughout the 4 years. And I guess with school involved, just to maintain good grades and stay on top of my schoolwork. I'm pre-pharmacy major, so I'll be going to pharmacy school at Drake. So just want to stay on top of my studies.
Okay. So, D1 athlete and then farmer. Okay. Again, thank you for hopping on with us. That is definitely that. So those 17 credits is different than a regular 7 than any other 17 credits. This isn't another. Yeah, this isn't another major. I'm learning how to be a chef, which is cool, but farmer.
Yeah,
that's a different beast. So, wow. Shout out to you. For your team, right? Do you have any team goals of what you guys want to possibly aspire to? I know you guys have been to the big tourney 19 times. What are some team goals for you?
Yeah, I mean, we want to win the NBC this year. I think that's our first goal. And then secondly, just to make it to the tournament. I think we have a really good chance of being really successful my 4 years that we're here. We have a really good team this year. We've really connected really well, and we're really like just starting to click, and we're just starting to play really well together. And as we get more into the season, I think you'll see that in our style of play, and it'll just continue to grow.
So growing up, I know you mentioned you played, your dad and your brother. Were there any players that you looked up to that you tried to model your game after?
Yeah, so I don't know if you know her. Her name's Carly Littlefield. She played at Princeton. She's at UNC now. But she went to my high school, and she's just a phenomenal point guard, a phenomenal leader. She plays quick, she plays fast, and I really saw myself in her. I remember just going to like my high school games and just seeing her and being like, wow, like I really want to be like her someday. So just making it to the Division I school and kind of replicating her style of play a little bit has just been something that is just like incredible.
That's dope. That's dope. So as we mentioned, we have the with the quickness segment. Whatever answer comes to your mind, throw it out there. The first answer that comes to your mind. All right.
Okay.
We're gonna start off with an easy one, a real easy one. What's your favorite meal?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not good at this.
What do you like to eat the most then?
Pasta. Probably pasta. Chicken Alfredo.
Pasta? Chicken Alfredo?
Yeah.
See, so there's your favorite meal. See, it wasn't that bad.
That's a good warm up. All right, I'm ready now.
All right, so give me what is in your musical rotation? What are you listening to on game day?
First Day Out by T Grizzly is something that I always play. I don't know, that just kind of gets me hyped up. That's always on my pregame playlist.
T Grizzly, can't go wrong there. Game day. So if it's not game day, what are you listening to?
I listen to like literally everything. I listen to country, but I really only like country in the summer and spring and warm weather. I listen to a lot of rap, a lot of just like pop and like today's hits, stuff like that. Good mix.
Okay. Give me your top 3 sports movies. Your favorite 3 sports movies.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't really watch a lot of sports movies. So I honestly probably couldn't even name 3. I'm not a huge movie person at all.
Okay, got it. So if you could tell me, so we mentioned the music aspect, what is one album that comes to your mind that you can listen to on repeat? No skips.
Post Malone, Beer Bongs and Bentleys. I love that album. By far my favorite.
Gotcha. So we got a couple more left.
All right.
Give me, you mentioned point guards. You're a point guard yourself. If you had to choose, give me your top 5 point guards in any sport. If you had to choose 5 point guards that you like the most, being a point guard, whether it's NBA, WNBA, college, who comes to mind?
Well, this is hard. I'd say Carly Littlefield for sure. I love watching Steph Curry. He's awesome to watch, I know. Caitlin Clark from Iowa. She's phenomenal. Paige Beckers. I love watching them. And then really Maya McDermott. She goes to UNI. She's in the MVC, and I grew up playing with her, so she's really fun to watch. She's a really shifty player.
All right, last one before we get you out of here. Again, we thank you for hopping on with us. If you had to choose 5 dinner guests, who would be your 5 dinner guests?
Well, this is hard. My mom, my dad, for sure. My brother, my best friend from high school, Ainsley, and probably my roommate, Ashley.
Okay.
That's a solid
Keep
5.
Keep it tight in the family, friends. Okay.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much for hopping on with us. We appreciate you. We appreciate you taking time out. We wish the best, nothing but the best for the rest of your season for you. We thank you again. Appreciate it big time. But y'all know the vibes. Bench Mob ENT. If you stay ready, you will not have to get ready. Bench Mob, we out. Peace.
Thank you, guys.